Hi guys, here we are back on our Monday schedule. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, the owner of Northampton Wools, and you are now inside Northampton Wools. Welcome. I'm glad to have you showing up today. Hopefully you haven't forgotten that it's Monday at 12:30. Every Monday at 12:30, most of the time, we do Lunch with Linda. So I appreciate you guys saying hello, letting me know that you are here live. And if you don't catch us live, you can always watch later on both Facebook or on our YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel is Inside Northampton Wools. Hey Barbara, hi Penny. And if Facebook acts wonky again this week, let me know. Some people said that they couldn't get Facebook to come in clearly last week. And if that happens, if you can switch over to YouTube, that usually takes care of it. I don't know what the problem is. Just like everybody else, it's like, it could be the rain, it could be the sun, it could be the wind, who knows? But hopefully we don't run into that very often. Hi, Linda. Hi, Eileen. So happy to be here today. So I have on the JessaLu little vest that I was talking about on Wednesday when I was telling you about the mistake stitch and what it can do. So I'm going to stand up so you can take a look at this. This is just a little bit more than a poncho, I would say. It's 2 squares joined at the shoulder and then sewn up on the side seam, but the armhole is open and unfinished. And then I did a very small amount of neck shaping at the front just to drop the front down a little bit so that I wasn't eating the yarn all the time, and just did a little bit of length. Let me stand up and show you what it looks like. It's cropped. I made it shorter rather than longer to wear over either a dress or I've got my favorite like jumpsuit on. Kate and I both wore jumpsuits today. So super, super simple. It's meant to be oversized, but it's also an extremely stretchy fabric. So when I write the pattern, I'm going to size it to be slightly oversized, but down and up from here so that it'll work for everybody. Now I did it out of, like I said, a yarn called JessaLu. That is a yarn from Plymouth Yarn, and it is a combination of things, some mohair, some wool, and it's strands of yarn that you hold together. They come together. You don't have to do anything, but they all hold together. And and it's kind of hairy, and part of that is the reason why this spreads. Hey, Patty. It spreads open. It's written on a size 10 needle, size 10 or 10 and a half, for bulky weight yarn. Now you could do this same pattern in a bulky weight cotton, like the
Nimbus.
Oh, Barbara says Facebook is freezing again. Like the Nimbus or the Cumulus cotton that we have. But because it's cotton, it doesn't have the push apartness to it. And so it will look droopier. It will fall differently. It will have a different kind of drape. Anything with mohair has a tendency to be very light and airy and to kind of stand up and push apart. It pushes against the stitches, which is also why the stitches between the knit stitch that you can see show up, because they push apart. But with a smooth yarn, these knit stitches are going to have a tendency to fall down together a little bit. So super easy. You're going to get the pattern free in an email, or we'll have it here in the store. This took me 5.5 skeins, but I am going to take it off because it is also very warm.
Do you need
5.5 skeins is roughly, oh, that feels good. So it's only 85 yards. 85 yards in each skein. So 5 times 85, or let's just say 6 times 85 is, Kate's doing the math.
5 times 85 is 425.
It's so less than 500 yards, 425 yards does the large, or extra, let's call that the extra, maybe even extra large. Depends on how big you block it out and how much you want to stretch it. So easy. I'm gonna say 400 to 500 yards is gonna be enough to do it. Great look, simple knitting during the summer. You can travel with that really, really easily. It is done on straight. I mean, you don't have to have a straight needle, but it is done back and forth and then seamed, mainly because the mistake stitch works well. It is a stitch, like I said on Wednesday, that you do not have to pay attention to, because every single row starts with knit 2, and then you do purl 2, knit 2, and you end with an odd number of stitches with either a knit 3 or a purl 3. I got a message from Linda Williams. Linda, if you're there, hi. And she said that she actually took notes on what I said last week and started knitting a scarf for her son. And it is a great scarf pattern stitch because it lays flat. It looks the same on both sides, so it's completely reversible. So it's a fun stitch to just, if you want to do some mindless, carefree, easy to carry knitting. And speaking of carefree and easy to carry, one of the things that came after last week's talk was a bunch of project bags from JessaLu. She is a local bag maker, and she does sell her stuff online, but we are the only store in the whole entire area that carries a selection of her bags. So I got 2 sizes in this time. I got her, she calls these her tall wedge bags, and they are all lined, and they all have a zipper on the top, and the fabric that she uses for lining is great. There is no pocket on the inside, but I don't think you really need one on this bag. And she always puts a really cute zipper pull. This one is a little bumblebee with beads on either end of it to zip closed, and then a little ribbon kind of holder if you want to hang the bag up. So this is one that I decided I would keep for me, because Kate and I were having this little conversation, and it's time to say that you are worth the extra special little things in life. So this is one of those. Instead of carrying your knitting around in a paper bag or a CVS bag or a plastic bag, treat yourself. Say, I'm worth it to get some little project bag. And this is the perfect size for, can you hand me that? For those little projects. I know a lot of you are sock knitters. Mm-hmm. It's a great sock knitting size. I want to show you these in a second. But it's also great for mittens or a hat project, or if you're knitting sleeves separately on a sweater. It goes in there nice and neatly. The yarn stays in there. And then you can also put in the other little bags that we got from her, which are these little notions bags. So in my now Notion bag, I have the tape measure, I have a pen, and a pair of special scissors, which just disappeared. Some stitch markers, yes. And they are very well made. You're right, Bess. They are really pretty. Oh, Bess says that bumblebee is her trademark. Thank you, Bess. I never really even noticed that. These little Notion bags have a little ribbon tied onto the zipper pull, but this is worth it. And especially, I mean, I do some knitting in the car when we are riding around, even when we're just going to like Home Depot or something. I like to have a project, a simple project, but something that needs to get done so that I can keep my knitting neat and clean in the car, because it always ends up thrown on the floor at my feet. That's the larger bag, and I want to show you some of the prints that she does, because she's found some really neat fabric. This is gnomes and rabbits and owls
I love the
in a
nightscape.
brown. Isn't it fun? Did I grab them? I didn't grab them all.
Let me grab all the long ones. Here are all the big ones.
Okay. And then this is an ivy and flowers and of course sheep.
Wacky sheep.
Wacky sheep. But then she does a slightly smaller size, and this still is going to work for that sock project or like I have the mitts project that I'm going to show you in a minute. This is still it's the same length or depth, if you will, and just a little bit less wide. So it's a little narrower. But again, yeah, the bees are her trademark, and the fabrics that she finds for the lining are just as pretty as the fabric on the outside. So we've got quite a few of this smaller size in. This is upside down. This is like sweaters and t-shirts.
It's summer laundry.
Summer laundry, that's a good one.
It says Lucy's Crab Shack.
Pine trees, coffee. This is a great one because it's not going to show the dirt.
No.
But they are all machine washable. One with sweaters. This one Kate and I both fell in love with because instead of your typical mermaid, it's mermen. Mermen, ships, octopus, waves. What a perfect beach bag.
Yeah.
Protect your knitting from the sand. The flowers are really pretty. This one has fairies on it.
That's a duplicate.
More flowers, that's a duplicate.
I love that.
Roller skates.
Such a throwback.
And rainbow.
And then I wanted to show that you could put this on there.
All right, and so Kate has taken one of the Katrinkles yarn cutters. This is the one that we sell that has a little sheep on it. And when you cut, you just stick your yarn right in that almost mouth, and it cuts your yarn off. And you can just hang it on there. It comes with the chain, so it will just tab right onto there. That's a perfect idea. Some people talk about hanging scissors on, but boy, scissors are sharp, and they'll get pokey if you put the scissors on. So we're really proud to be able to offer you the JessaLu bags in a selection. I didn't even see these prints before the order came. I just told her, go ahead, we need a restock to send us a bunch of whatever she had in stock. So again, we're the only place you can get it. Where's the one with my mitt in it? So this is a project that I am doing for a customer, and I'm almost done with them, but I wanted to show them to you. This is a windmill or pinwheel pattern, and I haven't finished the thumb on this one yet, with a fold over cuff. The pattern is by London Loop. They have a fantastic website, and I'm sure you can get the pattern right there, if not on Ravelry. But pinwheel mitts, and I'm almost done with that, with the pair. I just have the thumbs to do. But what I really wanted to talk about and for you to think about is the contrast in the color. I'm gonna talk more about contrast in color work next week because I have another project that I want to show you. But this one really works because there's a sharp or high contrast between the colors. It's a light and a dark, and that's what really makes the pattern show up a lot. But now I've got it in its bag, and I'm ready to take it home and finish it up tonight. Yoo-hoo, woohoo. So back to talking about being worth it, that kind of goes along with the talk that I did about giving yourself permission. This week I had a couple of customers come in, one of whom had started a baby blanket project and decided that she did not like the way the yarn was showing up in the pattern. Pattern was fine, yarn was fine, but together they were not making her as happy as she thought she should be for this project. So she stopped. She gave herself permission to not be committed to that project, and she ripped it out and started a new design with it. So don't forget to do that. Not only are you worth it, but you can change your mind. You can say, I'm even halfway through this and I'm not liking it. And I'm going to stop and find something new to do with it. I feel like every once in a while, we're just going to need to remind ourselves about that, because we tend to forget. We tend to just plow through everything that we've got on our plate. Let me just look at make sure I did that and I did that. Okay, so the title of this is A Surprise New Yarn. And again, almost as soon as I signed off on Wednesday, UPS, or DHL actually is what delivers it, came and delivered us a box from Gusto Yarn. And Gusto is the sister company to Urth Yarns. And you all know how much I love Urth Yarn. Well, Shauna from Urth Yarn called me and said, Linda, we're bringing in this brand new item. There's a very limited supply, and Emre wanted to see if you wanted to be one of the first to kind of have it in the store and try it out. And as usual, as soon as you tell me that I'm special, I'm on board. So they sent us 10 colors of this brand new to them yarn. The bad side is that we were only able to get one bag of each, which is basically 5 skeins of each of these yarns. It's one yarn, 10 colors. The yarn is called Oleo, and it is a single ply, which means that it's not a twist. It's just a single strand. It is hand dyed, so the color has a lot of variation in it. It's not a striping yarn. It is more along the lines of what we're used to seeing in a variegated yarn. So the very first color up is this pink one. There's 306 yards, and it's a light worsted weight. So at that yardage, in a 100-gram skein, it's going to easily work at 5 to even 6 stitches to an inch. So up to a size 8 needle, I would say, and down to a size 5 or 6, depending on how tightly you want it to be. At 306 yards, it's enough to do the Sophie scarf. And Kate and I were doing a little bit of experimenting with it. She's got on, you want to show it? Kate is wearing the Sophie shawl, which is written on a size 8 needle, which would be perfect for this. And she did the smallest size because it does have several sizes on it. And the Sophie, if you haven't seen the Sophie shawl or the Sophie scarf, look it up on Ravelry, because it is so popular. So many people are making it and wearing it like that, all wrapped up and tied up around your neck. Well, this would be perfect for that. And the other pattern that I pulled out that it would do is you have more than enough to do the 198 yards of heaven. This is an oldie. This has been around for years. This was really popular 15 to 18 years ago when we were in the other shop. But I had Kate print one out because I was like, yeah, remember that? That one, it would also work really well for that. And you have enough yarn to make it even longer. So that was the pink one. This one is, they don't have names, they just have numbers, so I won't even try to name it. They are all on the website, ready for you. Because like I said, we only have 5 skeins of each color, but this lilac-y mauve goes into that sandy kind of color. That's going to be really, really pretty. This one is one of my favorites because, boy, it just looks like flowers.
Or like
this,
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, this would be called wildflowers because it's got that those great magenta into teal, very light teal. Really, really pretty. I like that one a lot. Hey, Judy, thanks. This one, oh my gosh, no, I like this one a lot.
This is your favorite.
I really like this one a lot. Pinks, oranges, yellows. Really?
Perfect.
Which one? Come on.
The pink one.
Come on. They did a lot of green. There are 3 greens. Although this one, although I think of it as green, is really more almost turquoise. This one is really almost turquoise, not so much green. And again, into that brownish sand color, which jump on. If you like browns or tans, jump on it, because we're actually seeing companies pull browns out of their lineup this year. I don't know what it is, but we're seeing fewer and fewer real browns. This is a real olive with a hint of that purple in it. Those are two colors that really go well, but you don't often see them together. This is very foresty. It reminds me of a deep forest kind of color. See all the greens that they did? This one,
Van Gogh.
Yeah, very Van Gogh. Thank you, Kate. It does look like that. Look at that shot of blue in there. Oh my God, that yarn, that color is going to be gorgeous with those shots of blue. Really, really pretty.
I know, those shots
it is
of
going to
gold
look,
are so good.
yeah. And too bad it has the blue. Kate would cut them out, but that gold in there is perfect. This is like Starry Nights, like the field sunflower, field of sunflowers, something like that. And then the other green that they did is really a lot of green and turquoisey blues, not so much of that orange and brown.
That one's a little oceany.
It is kind of oceany. And then 3 more. No, I think that one's the same. That one is the pink. And then there's an even brighter, lighter pink with some light blue in it. And this is really Kate's color.
Oof.
Look at that. Oranges, again, browns, and almost rusty kind of tones. So we just got it in. We are one of the very few shops that have the privilege of sharing it first. And it kind of makes me nervous, because when I go to the show later on this month, I'm going to see the next yarn that they're coming out with. And we also will be the only shop in the area to have it first. Other shops will be able to buy it at the show, but it won't come to them until September. We are expecting delivery on it every single day. So our love of Urth Yarns continues, and continues to provide you with unique opportunities to try these brand new yarns before they sweep across Ravelry and everybody's knitting with them. You can be the first one, and that's exciting always, to be the first one. Anyway, like I said, that's on the website. It's going to be on the shelf on Wednesday. We will be able to provide you with the yarn and maybe make some other pattern suggestions, because I looked at a few shawls and had a few other ideas about what you can knit with that, especially because you have that big range of needle size and gauge. So we'll be able to play with that. I don't think I'll have time between today and Wednesday to do anything with it. So I won't be able to show you anything for a couple more days. Copper with a patina. Yeah, that's a good one, Beth.
Patina, yeah, that's a good word.
They are doing such incredible things with color. Wait till you see the next new yarn. Ooh. I've only seen it in pictures, because they sent me pictures of it, but boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're gonna have some fun. Okay, Shop Up bags. They are up and available. Again, or just a reminder, this is what they look like. They have that button closure. I know, it's such a great bag with a Velcro pocket and a, oops, I closed it before I pulled the handles out. Nice doubled up handles. So the handles are nice and firm and a good size. So the bottom opens up as usual with that gusset. So you can fit a lot in here. You can fit your JessaLu bag in the bag and be completely prepared. So this is now available. The passports are ready to go. $10, and you can partake in this summer's Shop Hop. We just sent out a bunch of prize donation requests, so those will be coming in. So I'm sure we'll have some really big, really fun prizes this year as well. We just put up a new window of lots of new baby sweaters in rainbow colors, so take a look at that. the next time you're in town and let us know which one is your favorite. And I just wanted to quickly note, oh, that's fun. That's Eileen listens to a lot of podcasts, so those two podcasters are saying that they're going to join the Shop Hop this year. That will be very fun. We'll have to watch for them. Celebrities in the Shop Hop, in the store. It's only happened a few times, but we have had some in. So the sock challenge. Don't forget about the sock challenge. If you follow our Facebook group or posts, Gail Hurley just put up that she finished her 3rd pair. Gail is definitely in the lead. It's not a race.
Jillian is in 2nd place.
But Jillian was in, and she had a pair done from 52 weeks of socks. And when she saw that Gail had already had 2 check marks, she was like, oh, I'm not letting that happen. And so she's out there knitting away. If you signed up or just gave us your name to participate, you still have plenty of time, lots of time to make socks. So if you're not on the list, knit a pair of socks from 52 weeks of socks, volume 1 or 2.
That's the shoulder.
If you, oh, sorry.
They have that binding cover, the picture.
Here we go.
There it is.
52 weeks of socks, volume 2. I hope you guys forgive me. I hate it when I make mistakes like that. But all right. Any sock pattern. Doesn't have to be all of them, but you can knit any sock pattern. And if you do 5 of them by September, you're going to get a $25 gift certificate to the store. But you have to let us see them. You have to bring them in. So get going. I think this is a pair that Gail made.
Yeah.
She did do
contrast.
this pattern. Yeah, with the contrast. And then one last thing. I sent an email out about the Ireland trip for spring of 2024. We got a terrific response. Lots of you are interested in it. We are almost reaching capacity. I spoke with Shelley this morning, and she is going to confirm that we can actually do the trip, get the dates, the actual times and dates and what you need to know. So those of you that called me and gave me your email will be the first to get what I'm calling a confirmation email. The email that I just sent out describing the Ireland trip was an "Are you interested?" email. The next email will be a confirmation. You either are saying yes or you say no. After we get a response from that, we will know how many actual spots are left, and I will then send it out to everybody else. So if you've been on the fence and thinking, oh, I don't know what the dates are, stay tuned, because we just might have some spots open, and we will be letting people know about that. Since we are talking about trips, this one just came out of the blue. Shelley Cronin, who handled our trip to Scotland before COVID, just sent me an email and said, do you think there'd be any interest in an Ireland knitting trip? And I said, yes, I do. Let's see what we can get. When I sent the email out, I said Ireland and Scotland, but the Scotland trip is a longer day. It's like 10 to 12 days, and I didn't want to do that. So we're doing a 7-day Ireland-only trip in 2024. I'm going to mention this now, although I've not sent the post out. I've been invited to teach in Italy in 2025 at the Watermill in Pescara, and I will be sending out information about that in July. So if you don't go on the Ireland trip, but you do want to take a trip, you can look forward to a trip to Italy with me in 2025, maybe even a second Ireland trip in 2025 as well. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's about everything new. We're back to our regular summer hours, although we never changed, but boy, it really feels like now we've got summer coming. After yesterday, it was just glorious out in the backyard. We were able to let the chickens out and have some fun working in the yard yesterday. And I hope all of you did too. And I hope you find time this week to go knit something. And if you don't have something to knit, get in here. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.